Welcome back to the channel. We are continuing in our series, The Consumer Goods Dilemma. Not only is the poor quality of goods a problem for the consumer, but it presents a real challenge to the mobile repair tech, since there is little to nothing that the mobile repair tech can do with these low quality products. And we have this time the promised Mazda 6. Well, there's a lot to be said about it, and there's a lot to be sad about it. We can see the urethane pulling away from the base fabric everywhere on this seat. We see here the effect of people sliding down into the seat, and the urethane comes loose of the backing fabric. And as might be expected, the replacement seat wasn't really that much better. The dilemma for the repair technician is the dealership is absolutely not going to spend a lot of money getting the entire seat reupholstered. And for you, the repair technician, the question is, what can you do about it to get the used car dealership out of a jam? And of course, we have the customary removing of the barnacles with a proper clean and prep. The faster you do these steps, the more energy you impart to the surface. Whether you do them this fast or not is up to you. When you have urethane sagged in one area like this, you'll have to cut it away and remove it. The reason being is that urethane here is not a thermoplastic. Now, if this was vinyl, you could probably melt that and push it back down and it would be out of the way. But being urethane, it's not going to melt. So it's better to remove all of this excess. And from here, we can proceed just as we would with any vinyl repair. In this instance, I am using a vinyl repair compound that I have colored black just to give me a head start on color. And a few light coats will get me close to where I want to be. This next part will highlight a recurring theme throughout even future videos dealing with urethane. We can reactivate the adhesive and push the urethane back into the adhesive and let it cool again. In fact, this goes back to the original problem. When the car was hot inside in the summertime and you slid down in the seat, the adhesive was already too hot, and so the urethane slid in the hot adhesive. Warming the adhesive up, we can stick the urethane back down. And what will happen on the next really, really hot summer day? Same thing. And on this panel, we're going to rough it in. we're not going to spend a lot of time with it because it's not worth it. Remember, the dealership is trying to skate by on this cheap car with a cheap repair. We can't be spending a lot of time. And if you're a member of the public watching this and you think that that's terrible, that we should just try to do a quick repair on this nasty seat, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles in the automotive business sometimes. You may not like it. Well, the technician does not like it either. That's just the way it goes in the marketplace. When the quarter runs out, the ride stops. And now on this little portion where it's perforated, I'm not going to care about the perforation. Are you? I didn't think so. And here's another portion of warm up the adhesive and stick the urethane back down. And we always prep over our heat-cured compounds to remove any plasticizer from the surface. And how about we add some color and a little bit of texture and see where that brings us. So now that everything is roughed in and we have a guide coat of color, we can see now any areas that we think need beefed up just a little bit before we send it. And because we had to repair over into the stitch line, I'm going to use a wood burning tip to make what we call a faux stitch. The idea is to not make a solid line, just make an indent one stitch at a time. Then I usually step back and take a look and see what it looks like from a distance, and I think I can go just a little bit deeper. I have a couple more examples still to come here in this video, but that's all the time we're going to spend on the Mazda 6. And we could debate about how far to go on this seat. That's a judgment call for any technician. But remember, we're not going to make a good seat out of it. It was never a good seat to begin with. And the urethane problem that's evident there in the seat is still there. So we're not going to spend a lot of time pretending that we're going to make a good seat. You know, that reminds me of an experience. I was at a seminar one time, and several technicians were gathered around looking at this piece of rotted leather, and we were all discussing what would be the best approach. Everybody had a different viewpoint. And then I got to realize, hey guys, we're debating about this piece of trash. Who cares, right? And as one really prominent technician said,
what difference at this point does it make?
Yeah, and she's right. Who really cares when you're fixing up a piece of trash? Everyone has to make their own decision, how far they're going to go, how much time they're going to spend on it. There's no money in it, so we're going to have to leave it and let it ride. And in this case, this is a very cheap car, probably a cash deal kind of car, and it didn't stay on the lot. It sold right away, so the proof is in the pudding there. We didn't spend a lot of time. We did okay for the time we spent. We got good money for what we did for it, and everybody was happy down the road. Here's another example where we have the adhesive getting too hot and the urethane moving and building up in a really thick line. Again, that can't be melted down because it's not a thermoplastic. But if we cut it all away, we can just do a regular vinyl repair over top of the damage. And here are two similar breaks. The closer one wasn't too bad, so we're going to see what we can accomplish by ironing the general area around this break. Here's hoping if we cool down the adhesive, we'll be in good shape. And for the larger damage, after cutting away the ridge, I'm filling it with repair compound that's reinforced with some plastic. And we'll handle this one similarly. We'll do some texturing and coloring to blend it in and sand it. Well, I hope you found that interesting, dealing with these trashy urethane seats in these modern cars. But on a brighter note, we've discovered that in our area, the hummingbirds are pretty much gone for the season by October 1st. And the blue-tailed skinks also go into their style of hibernation by October 1st as well. And 6 months later, by about April 1st, the hummingbirds come back, and about the same time, the blue-tailed skinks come out of their hibernation. But even more interesting than that, we have made pets out of these wild skinks, and when they come out of hibernation, the first day out, they remember me like it was 6 months ago. They haven't forgotten a thing, and that's so interesting that they have that keen of a memory. I'm going to share a little bit of video with you on the way out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.